Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Friday night live stream for Georgia Shooting Connection. Hope everybody's having a good week. It's a good week to be over. We're just basically sitting in here whining till y'all got here. So come on in, pull up a chair, let's have some fun. No real topic tonight. Might want to talk about some casting stuff. So glad y'all are here. And we'll let our big man Chico go for
it. Welcome everyone to another Friday night Georgia Shooting Connection. It looked like it's 30 of y'all out there so far. So thanks for joining with us so far. Like Jamie said, we're going to talk about some casting and some other particulars. So thanks for joining us on a Friday. Y'all know I'm just like too easy. Brother Kyle, what's up, man? How you been?
Last week of the month, been busy. I'm glad I don't have to do anything tomorrow. I can do what I want to tomorrow. I don't have to do anything.
And I have to work, so he can really not have to do that.
Yeah, she's got to work, so I really don't have to do anything. But what I want to do is vacuum the house, get all the blue fur up. But yeah, glad all y'all could be here. Looking forward to a good Friday night chat. I'm like everybody else on the panel. We're just tired. It's been one of those weeks. I want to say hey to everybody and glad y'all are all here, and let's dig into it and have some fun. Russ, what you got?
Nothing much. I'm glad this week is over, which I guess technically it ain't over for me since I'm on call this weekend, but it's been another one of those. I'm trying to get stuff done in the gun room, just hadn't had much of a chance to, but I'm glad to be here, and I think Jamie had said something about talking about basics of casting or something to that effect. So yeah, I'm interested to hear some of the information passed on it. Don't get too confused, Kyle. But that's all I got. I'm just glad to be here. Glad to see everybody in the side chat. What you got there, Scotsman?
It's good to be here. Good to see you as well, man. Good to be here for sure. See everyone out there in the side chat. We did have a quick question out there from Papa Les. If anyone uses a PID, just so happens I got one from Willie the Bullet Man. So I will be doing a video on that here shortly. But yeah, if you can get one, I highly recommend it for sure. Willie custom built one for me, so that's pretty cool. But I'm doing all right. It's good to be here. I'm glad it's Friday. I'm glad the week's over. It's been a long week for sure. But should be good, and excited to see what got going on for the night.
One thing I can say is if you are in the market for a PID, hit Willie up. The only thing he asked for is a little down payment for the parts and everything. And he'll build you one. And Jamie can attest to this. They work fantastic.
You just got to make sure that it's calibrated correctly. Kind of like your scales on your bench. Yeah, TinMan. TinMan says PID's the way to go. Andy79Z28, where is he at? He uses PID on all his pots and ovens. Works great. So yeah, we already jumping down in that rabbit hole, Uncle Jim.
So with a PID, I guess if you're powder coating, you put a PID on your toaster oven, and that you're sure, as long as you got it calibrated like Jamie's talking about, you're sure you're getting the right temperature, correct?
If it's calibrated correctly.
Okay.
So what Willie told me in the instructions with the wonderful letter he sent me, which started off with something Jamie wouldn't like me saying on here. But you can kind of gather where he was going with it. Hey, bleep, the nice little letter he sent me. Basically, it was make sure you calibrate it with an actual temperature. Drop your temperature gauge in there, get that reading, and then set that on the PID itself.
Okay, Big Al. AR, I would say that you could build a PID yourself and buy the parts off of buy the parts and put it together for less than $100 easy. I would think. Yeah, and like I said, the trick is just calibrating it. There you go.
Yeah, what's crazy, man? I bought my controller about 2 years ago. Still haven't done anything. I just have the controller or the module, rather.
Who asked that question? I'm trying to find it.
Originally about the pot and the PID?
No, how does it work?
Oh, let me see. Big Al.
Yeah, there it is. So Big Al, what happens is you have a thermocouple that goes into the lead, and then there's a wire run back to it from that to the controller. And I used to could tell you what PID stood for, but actually what happens is it runs the temperature up and then cuts off, and then runs the temperature up and cuts off, and the whole time it's figuring it out as it goes along, and then it's getting smarter and it's working more efficiently the whole time. So we got a good crowd in here this evening. Well, thank y'all for coming. And dang, I'm gonna drive myself crazy till I think of it now. So thanks, Kingpin, for putting those up there. There's Thor's axe. So, Mr. Pollard. There's a good question. Zinc has a slightly higher melting temperature than lead.
PID stands for Proportional Integral Derivative Controller. Hey, there it is, Vanessa Kitty. She beat me.
So, yes, show of hands, how many people were Googling it right then?
Well, no, see, here's the thing. How many of you can say it 10 times fast?
10 times fast.
Ask that question again, Scotsman.
Say it 10 times fast.
PID, 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 PID.
There you go. I didn't say how you have to say it. Just say it 10 times fast. See, he got it.
So my sister had a question on Facebook today. I know most of us don't do Facebook anymore. She said, I had $3. My mama gave me $10. My daddy gave me $30. My grandmother gave me $100. Then I found out I had 7 more. So how much money did I have? Do I have?
All
And
of
so
it.
everybody was adding it up and all that. The correct answer was you said had. You have none now, or none of that. So anyway, right, Chico?
Yeah, sure.
I am so surprised Kyle didn't say, well, it depends. Are they from Kentucky?
No, I wouldn't say that. I got friends in Kentucky.
Ain't what you said a couple of weeks ago.
I know some dumb people in Kentucky, but I got some friends in Kentucky.
There you go. We got to get Kingpin casting, y'all.
Problem is, you can't find any molds right now.
You can. You just got to know where to look, man. You can find the molds. It's finding a pot at a decent price. Pots are freaking off the roof now.
Yeah, it's finding the molds at a decent price too. I was just looking for a double alt buck 2-cavity mold, and the only ones I found were more expensive than the press I'm going to be using on.
I'll take a look, see what I can find for you. There's a couple places I shop elsewhere. I don't usually throw them out there, but I'll take a look and see if I can find them for you.
So Thorzak's got a simple question for you. And this, I believe, is the answer. 13 people, 3 left. How many left? 3. You just said that. I'm sorry. Okay. Big Al, I have a fish turkey fryer that I'll be using to melt the lead into ingots first, then to the molds. Where are you going to start making them? Ingot molds?
I think Big Al's talking about PIDs. I don't really know the answer to that one right there. I've heard only use them in steel.
I would say no. Yeah, Kingpin needs to start casting. This, I think the answer to that is no. The ones in our PID controllers only have one input for a thermocouple. But I'm sure you could spend more money and buy one that has multiple inputs. But earlier, TinMan said TinMan said it was about $35. I'm trying to read and think at the same time, and it ain't working out. Yeah.
Thoughts of an Old Soldier's got a good one. Let's see who falls for it.
Yeah. Steel molds only for zinc, guys. Lee, I would say that if you find a rooster that can lay an eggs, you'll be a rich man.
It's
well, and TinMan says it pretty much right. I mean, nowadays you never know; it might be transgender. So
transgender chicken.
Okay.
He identifies.
Okay, let me explain. No, we ain't doing that. I ain't going to explain it to you.
You know,
Jeremy
it's like
Guns.
Coca-Cola. Be last white.
Oh, I saw something today. It's got a guy in a job interview, and his name is LES, and his last name is White. And the guy says, "I'm the executive for Coca-Cola. You're hired."
I think one of the best memes I've seen so far was, they had the polar bear. Well, the polar bear got fired and the black bear got hired.
Yeah. I swear. Literally in my mind, I'm swearing right now.
Okay, this is not dad joke night. It's turning into dad joke night, guys.
Well, it's working.
All right, so back to casting. Let's get back to casting.
Right.
That is an excellent question, Jason. I will tell you this, especially when you're getting down onto a rifle, and I know Jamie probably has the same problem I do. You can get stuck right there, especially on the side of an AR or something like that that has a lot of edges and curves and all the rest of it to it. Bolt action's not so much, but AR platform style rifles and that, yeah, it can be a pain. You can get caught up in there real bad.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of when that one hair gets in some crevice somewhere that you're not expecting, and you rise up from the bench, doink! Oh,
My new stock for my Ruger American Predator and 6.5 Creedmoor is a Magpul Magpul Hunter, and it's kind of rubber coated, and yeah, that hurts, buddy.
You get the static going on.
it's just like this finish that they put that Daniel Defense puts on their foregrips and other pieces. I got it's on the stock and everything too. That stuff is like a hair magnet. It will stick to that no matter what, especially if it's hot. So you will have some of that.
There's Bald and Curious. We had Jeremy Gunslinger show up a while ago. Thanks for coming, Jeremy. Ain't seen you in a month of Sundays.
It's been a minute. I was about to give him a call or an email and make sure he was still doing all right.
We saw Big Man Outdoors out there a little while ago. We got to get him back on here.
Uncle Jim is a hair magnet. Today,
Uncle Jim is right, man. Beards are meant for swords. You know, my ancestors swung swords quite a bit, and they never lost their beards.
This is amazingly funny. Hey, Pastor, how you doing, sir? One of my coworkers, he's younger, was asking if anybody heard about, for lack of a better term, fart spray. And I said, boy, do I have a video that you need to watch. And it's when Uncle Jim opened TinMan's bullets. He was crying. He was laughing so hard. It took me I was almost about to give up because of how far I was going back. I didn't know it'd been that long ago. I was going to text Jim and go, can you send me a link to that video, please?
All right, that right there, that's good to know, Mike Hester. They make slick stock tape, y'all.
That is good.
Yeah.
Now, is that just on for like bolt action style rifles, or is that going to work on an AR type rifle too? Mike, let us know.
So, Big Man, just send me a message on Discord, and we'll work out a date. Good to see the pastor out. I should send him a link. Maybe he'll come in here and straighten y'all out.
That's going to be a lot of work.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, I hear you, Georgia boy.
We do all the time, man. We do. Trust me, we do.
Ooh, I found gold. Found a case of 12 gauge shotgun shells and a case of 20 gauge shotgun shells under the bed. That's in addition to the ones I found in the closet.
Mike Hester, he's talking about the slick stock tape. That's when I used to shoot competition bench rest. That it's a tough. I used a Teflon tape. I don't remember the thickness, and I have a roll still around here somewhere. But that stuff is slick, and you could probably. Scotsman was talking about will it work on an AR type platform? You could probably roll it. It'll roll across the top, but it's not going to keep your hair from getting in that gap on where it slides. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my problem is bolt actions in particular. I don't have too much trouble with the AR platform. Mine's when I put my cheek on there, it gets kind of stuck underneath the gun, kind of, and it's I got to pull my head up, and anyway. I know what my wife would say. Hey, Willie, if you can hear me, I know you can't type right now. My wife found a gift tag from Amazon. She come in here prancing. Hey, man, she didn't knock. She didn't do nothing. She didn't care if we was live on the air or what. She comes prancing through the door and has that little, like Joe Diffie would say, one hip at a time, puts that right down right in front of my face and says, who is Melissa? And I'm like, I didn't even blink, and I said, Willie's wife.
Oh, that's funny.
She said, oh, so that's okay, huh? And I'm like, fine with me.
Seeing as how she's 2,000 miles away and I can't reach that far, I'd say it's just perfect. That might have been not the okayest thing to say, but
y'all, that would be a good one, Big Al. There's Dummy Round. What's going on, bud? I sent you an email, man. That'd be a good one, Big Al, and all together. Hey, Mig. Bye, Mig.
Bye, Mig.
And there you have it, sports fans. So, special hey to MCK. Mark's probably at work tonight. So, when Willie gets back in here where he can see, we'll talk about something he did for me. So, yeah. Casting, what are you going to need? Hey, Mark, we just said hey to you. So you heard it then, didn't you?
Yep, he just got a break. There you go.
Yep.
Well, the first thing you're going to need is a way to melt the lead. You can use a fire in a pot. You can use a turkey fryer in a skillet, something like that. But then you got to hand dip it. If you're not wanting to put a whole lot of money into it, that's the way I would go. But you're going to have a mold. And right now, molds are about as hard to find as hen's teeth, especially at a decent price. It's not a very complicated process. It's just finding what you need to do it. And the first thing is because anybody's got a spare pot laying around and can build a fire. You're going to need a mold. So you got to figure out what you want and or what you can get and use it.
Yeah, that's thanks, Andy. I was meaning to highlight his question. Pollard didn't understand why we were saying cast iron molds or steel molds only for for zinc, and Andy explains stuff so much better than I can. You're just going to destroy that aluminum eventually. I started casting with a Lyman Big Dipper kit, and that Lyman ladle is absolutely fabulous. If y'all, it's when you got a mold that you're having trouble getting fill out on, take that thing and put the mold on top of the spout and turn it over and kind of force it down in there. Man, that stuff works, dude. I'm telling you, that's great stuff.
Vanessa's asking if you could make a cast iron bottom pour pot. I wouldn't see why not. I mean, you'd have to finagle it a little bit, but I'm sure no reason you couldn't.
But wasn't it? I think it was Elvis Ammo had a video out where he was casting with zinc and it bored a hole right through his pot.
Yeah.
Wasn't that him a couple of years ago, maybe?
Yeah, the Lee pot. And, I've got my theories about that. They replaced his. There you go. They replaced his. Lee did. But I think it might have been because he's got like so many subscribers and he was talking about it. But he kind of told them, what he was doing with it.
I think they replaced it because he was honest with them, and I think they also said they won't replace it again. 90-gallon cast iron pots. What would you do with that, Vanessa?
Yeah, her back, Big Al. That if you're going to do zinc, it's imperative that your melting pot have a cast iron core. So yeah.
I mean, even finding used Dutch ovens at thrift stores is getting about ridiculous because everybody wants cast iron now.
That's interesting, Paul. I've been thinking about buying me something like that. Kind of like what Georgia Boy has. Okay, now I'm hungry again.
Oh, talking about gumbo. Dude, Mike, come on, man. We all love gumbo.
Freeze some of that packet and send it to me. I would love to try the elk chili.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, Mark, we're just telling you, I wanted to say a special hello to you because I knew you was at work, and then bang, you get a break and pop on here. So we're glad you got to join us even for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah.
Brunswick stew.
Okay, so I didn't know, Paul, that Harbor Freight sold cast iron Dutch ovens. And do you use it for smelting your lead? Yeah, that's a good idea. If it did it once, it'll do it again, won't it, Jeremy? Because after all, that's Murphy's Law. He'll get that. Y'all probably won't, but. Okay. They do, and that's what Andy Andy was buying them for a while, and he totally re he totally re upped his. I mean, it looked like a brand new one when he got done. Okay, so this is the thing. If nothing sticks to Teflon, how do they get the Teflon to stick to the skillet? I know, another dumb dad joke, okay. There's Lakeview Outdoors. What's up, bud?
There he is.
Nah, Mark, you're awesome, dude. Yeah, that's for commercial applications, Thorzak. Okay. Good to know. I'll have to check them out. I need to go out there anyway. I'm kind of in the market for a good, well, a decent anyway, um, air compressor. There's Sergeant Devil Dog. What's up, my brother?
Speaking of our truck drivers, I wonder how long it took Idaho Rogers to get moving last week. He was stranded out there somewhere.
James, you see that, Russ?
Yeah, I see it.
My wife could probably tell me. There's Lever Guns 50. What's going on, my brother? Yeah, when that's one of the things we're talking about last week is that stuff ain't healthy once it starts chipping off of that thing.
Wow.
So have you cast anything up, Jamie, this past week?
Oh yeah, man, I've been casting a pretty good bit this week. I got those two new molds, and let me get a bag, throw these in. This is the Lee 323175. It's for the 8mm, like your K98s and your 8mm Mausers. Let me see if I can. Those that I was dealing with Sunday on your show, Scotsman, I got them already powder coated. I'll go get those in a minute. Me and Chico got to get together and do some casting. Yeah, Jeremy, stuff like that's going rapid right now. You get remember you said buy two of everything? Yeah, you got to have alternate go-to loads because right now we're seeing that you may have a pound of powder or whatever, and then tomorrow you might not be able to buy that powder anymore.
And one of the key things there is make sure you're recording your data. A lot of folks, especially if they're starting out, forget to write stuff down. Make sure you write it down.
And we've talked about that within the past month in here. Russ was really good about showing us one of his websites. Um, what do you call it?
Reloading Studio.
Yeah.
That's my go-to. I back it up on a thumb drive and a drop box.
I didn't know I casted so many of these. This is with a 2-cavity mold, but this is what I got just in a couple of hours, maybe 2.5 hours, 2 hours. I got watch the bottom fall out of that. That's 250. But and these have already been, we've already culled the bad ones. I'll show you the bad ones. Show you the bad with the good. Maybe that's what we need to kind of talk about some tonight. What do you guys consider a bad bullet when you cast? And that's how many culls I got out of that. So I got 250 good ones, probably about 25, maybe 30 bad ones. And let me show you why I picked chose to throw these away. That's not a real good sample. Okay, this one is good for one thing. Okay, all right, this one right here, am I going to have to enlarge it? Here we go. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that one's just wrinkled. See the wrinkles in the...
Yeah.
There you go. It just didn't fill out the pot real good, the mold real good. But it's got a really good base on it. Now, to me, bases are important. And this is the reason I chose to cull this one, is this one, the base is not filled all the way out. See how it's round on the edge of the base? That's no good. That's going to allow gas to slip through. Now, this is a gas check bullet, and I could probably put a gas check on it and it'd be okay. But then the weight's going to be off. So, here's another one that's bad wrinkled. Yeah, that just don't look good. It's just plus that base. What's that? That base ain't that bad, but it's rounded a little bit too. And then when you get to your 6-cavity molds and the older Lee molds, this is one of the older Lee molds, you get what we call finning. Yeah, the mold wasn't closed all the way and you get a fin.
Yeah.
That ain't going to fly right. And you can take a razor blade and you can trim that off and you can still use it. But then again, your weight's going to be off because it's going to be heavier. And it's not going to be round because it wasn't all the way closed. There you go. Okay, so all right, let's go around the panel here and what y'all think?
I'm pretty much the same as you, man. If it gets that, obviously gets that fin on there, or if it's got a lot of wrinkles, that's about it for me. If it's just like 1 or 2 minor wrinkles, I may let it through because it's only target shooting for the most part. You know, unless I'm casting hollow points or something like that, then I'm a little more picky. But
there you go.
I'm getting educated. I don't cast yet, so, but I can see your points on everything you showed, Jamie.
Yeah, when I first casted, the very first time I casted, it's been almost 2 years now, I think, something like that. The very first time I did it, I had all kinds of huge wrinkles in it. Huge. I mean, like you can stick your fingernail in there and run your nail right through it. Kind of wrinkles. Obviously, that's bad. But if you just have like a couple minor wrinkles or whatever, they're just kind of on the surface. If you just target shooting, you can get by with it. That's just going to be up to you how picky you want to be.
Well, I'm pretty picky, particularly with bullets that I'm going to send out to my friends.
Yeah.
I want them to have the best experience possible.
I'll be honest with you. I do cull a lot that would be shootable, but like a little wrinkle on the nose or something like that, I wouldn't really worry about as long as the driving bands were in good shape. And as far as that one, if with the messed up base, if the base was okay, I'd just load it up and shoot some paper with it, just to shoot it. I mean, you went through the trouble to cast it and everything else. It ain't going to hurt nothing if you put a gas check on it.
Okay. Reloader 762. Our brother Daniel's looking for a NOE hollow point mold. So can you kind of help him out as to which one you have and maybe share some stuff? What do you think, Chico?
About the wrinkles?
Well, about what makes you call bullets?
And you saying like pull them when y'all say cull?
Yeah, toss them back in the pot.
Throw them back in.
If they have any voids in them, not all the time with the wrinkles, I throw them back. But if I'm shooting this target shooting or working up a load sometimes, because I know I'm going to powder coat them, and I've even sent some bullets out that had some wrinkles in it. And I powder coat them, and you can still see some of the wrinkles, but it kind of fills up the void, the powder coat. But depending on how severe the wrinkles are, I'll throw them back in. And one thing that I used to throw them right back in. I don't do that any longer. And I'll tell y'all why. Because the trash from it. I think Charles Irby told me that one time. He asked me, was I throwing my reject bullets right back in the pot and my sprues right back in the pot, and I was. So that makes me so I'll wait till my pot gets all the way down, not all the way down, but at least halfway down before I have a load of sprues or old bullets to throw back in, because I'll have to flux again or clean it, because I had some voids and some bullets or something. Probably like on my video.
I hope TinMan could hear you, because we got good night, Jeremy. I hope TinMan's listening, because me and him had a similar problem with our spouts clogging up, and I think that might be a reason. So TinMan, I hope you heard him. It's like wait till you're ready to flux again before you throw your sprues and your reject bullets back in there. Now, sometimes, you open that mold up and you can see a bad bullet right away, like a bullet that, like when you're casting and you're at this cavity and some spills over into the other and blocks the hole before you get there, and it just don't fill all the way in. Okay, this is the thing. Wrinkles. I want good solid bases, and I want solid driving bands. Those are three musts.
Well, what about frosted bullets? I mean, I guess that means I know Kyle talked about it. It's been a while back. I was watching the show. Was talking about a frosted bullets. I mean, does that affect the accuracy, or does that?
I don't think so, because most of my bullets are frosted, and that normally means you're running it hot.
You're running hot, yeah.
It's just a telltale sign of the melt that you've got the mold or the material too hot. Yeah. That's
Now,
why I
some
keep a sponge over here next to the casting spot. And if I start seeing that, I'll just dip it on the sponge.
yeah,
You know,
I've
keep
done
a
that.
wet sponge sitting there for about 2 seconds or something like that, and that'll take enough heat out of the mold that it'll be fine. But yeah,
Uh,
Let's talk about that for a minute. Go ahead, Chico.
I was going to say, so with certain modes too, like when I first got my first NOE mode, I noticed versus the Lee mode, I had to run it hot. I had to run it a lot hotter than I did the Lee mode. The Lee mode's a lot thinner, or it's not as dense. The NOE modes, they are thick aluminum, so you got to get them real warm. And I have that same mode that Reloader 762 has, but just in a flat point. I don't have the hollow point like he has. I don't think they had it when I ordered it.
I like that point. Uncle Jim says slightly frosted bullets powder coat better. That makes a lot of sense.
I've said that since I started casting. But when you get the frosting means that basically it don't actually mean that that your melt is too hot. It means that your mold is getting too hot. But since the melt is what's heating up the mold, then it's obviously got to be too hot too. And
Well,
that sweet spot's going to be different on different molds too. You got to take a Lee 2-cavity mold versus a Lee 6-cavity mold, and depending on how big each cavity is in relation to how big the block is, you're going to have to move that temperature around to get. But yeah, I like frosty bullets. I've noticed no difference in the accuracy, and yes, Thorzak's right on point as he always is. You're casting too fast.
yeah, and that's a big part of it too. I know it's hard to think that you can cast too fast, but yeah, you'll get the mold a little too hot, and you just need to slow down for a little bit, and it'll tell you the speed that you need to go. I mean, I think it was Thorzak's that did a video on it. The mold will talk to you and tell you what's going on.
The biggest thing with this, and it's the same thing with reloading itself. Take your time, just relax. This is a relaxing thing for us. You know, it helps us chill out. You're learning something every time you do it, and you're gaining more knowledge every single time. So, you know, just take your time with it, slow down. You'll get there. I mean, even with a single cavity mode, you can cast up a whole bunch before you know it.
Yeah, and this is a message to the people that are thinking about starting to cast their own bullets. If you're thinking about it and you want to do it, just do it. I mean, you're going to be out what, $80, maybe that'll get you a bottom pour pot, a mold, and as long as you can come across a little bit of lead, give it a shot. You may find that it's an enjoyable experience and you really love it, or you might find that it's not for you, but you could sell it to your buddy.
So not nowadays, Kyle, you're not gonna find a pot for $80.
That's right. Well, you might find a pot, but you're not gonna find those molds like they used to be. Not anytime
Yeah,
soon.
it's tough out there right now. Most of the pots I've been seeing are about 110, 120, somewhere in there or higher.
Holy goodness!
I'd still say buying from a big company, a vendor like your Midway, Brownells. They haven't raised the prices on those pots that much, but eBay for the molds and even Amazon for the molds have went up. Still, aluminum, it don't matter.
And a lot of places, like Chico's saying, a lot of places like Medway and you can back order. Just back order. Just do
Yep, and if it's back orderable, do it.
Don't hesitate. Just buy it.
I think that's how Surrender did, because she said it's on back order. But I said, can you back order? And she said, yeah. I said, just back order. And I think it was like 76 at the time. So
I
guess
paid
what?
$62 for mine.
Anything on back order, whatever the price is, even though they don't charge you there, but whatever you lock that price in, that is what you're gonna pay for it.
That is insane.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna see how much they are.
Okay, I want to talk about this while it's up here, and you guys chime in as well. I run an NOE mold, the same temp as a 6-cavity Lee mold. Again, I'll go back and say that it's more of a relation between the amount of material and the size of the cavity, because the NOE mold blocks are so much bigger and heavier duty, even though they are aluminum like the Lee mold. Yeah, I can see how that would work perfect almost, James.
But if you think about it, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
I was going to ask James, is he talking about a 4-cavity Lee mold, a 2-cavity Lee mold, or a NOE mold, 2 or 4
Yeah, I was
cavity?
gonna say something similar like that. I'll tell you what, my Lees are 6-cavity, and my NOE that I got, I think it's a 4-cavity. And another thing I would assume would make a difference, the size of the bullet.
Yeah.
So,
And
comparing apples to apples.
yeah,
I
that
can
was
overheat
my
a
point.
44 caliber mold in a heartbeat. I can really overheat the 2-cavity 50 cal mold I have that's Lee. You can't cast more than 5 or 6 castings, so that'd be like 10 to 12 bullets, and you got to sit that mold down. You just grab another one. Holy.
Bam.
That's
Wow.
midway. So they went up about $20.
God, yeah, I paid $62 for mine, I think.
I think I paid 70, 75, 78, something like that.
And I'm scared to look on Amazon to see what they are. They might be $200.
762, I appreciate that. I've often wondered what that is. So basically what's happening is we've got stuff so hot that our antimony and lead is separating in the mold. Am I assuming correctly? 762. See, one of the reasons I like doing this is I learn as much as y'all do. I mean, just because we're out here on Friday nights and doing a thing don't make us no experts. That's another thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to casting. Be careful where you get your information from.
And your lead.
Yeah, Jerry, that's right. They need more collagen.
And if you're smelting down your own ingots and everything, trust me, I've got a video on this. Keep an extra eye out for zinc, because before I was able to put a PID in my smelting pot, that way I knew the temperature of it. I got some zinc in my lead and didn't know it because it was too hot. And even though I sorted everything to begin with, in the process of melting it down and getting it hot, I got it too hot and some zinc got melted down into it. And I thought I was going to have to buy a new pot, but I totally disassembled that pot and cleaned it with a wire brush and got everything out of it and ran some pure lead through it and was able to salvage the pot. But it's not fun.
That production pot, which is, I think that's a 10-pound pot. The production pot, the leaf is a bottom pour. It is.
Oh,
yeah, man, I'm telling you, dude, prices are going up.
And that's on Amazon. So,
does anybody want to buy a Lee 420? I may have one for sale. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I would say though, because for at least the next year, a lot of stuff ain't going down in price. Because when Pink Shears bought a pot, it was about 2 months ago. It might even been 3 months ago. Those pots were regular price. So
that's $140 for a 10-pound pot? Goodness.
Yeah, dude, I told you, man, it's getting nuts out there. That's why if you can find it on back order and you can find them at a good price, just do it. Don't sit around. Don't wait.
Now, this thing that 420 I just showed you was on Midway for 96, and you can pre-order it. If it was me and I needed one, I would just do that. I would bite the extra $20 that it was, because it probably won't never go back down to like Kyle got his for 60 something. I think I paid 70 something for mine, maybe.
I can tell you right now, the way things are at the moment, it's not going down anytime soon. We've seen this stuff before in the past, but this isn't going away anytime soon. This is going to stick around for a while. So if you need it, do it. If you can find it at a decent price, just buy it. Don't worry about it. Knock it off and get it. Don't hang back. Don't waste your time. Just do it.
And Tack is right. The reason that the prices are still this high is because all of us just keep on buying it no matter what it costs. If we'd have told them to pack sand when primers went over $35 a thousand, guess what? You'd be buying primers for $35 a thousand.
See how funny I tell y'all Paul Loud really is? That is hilarious.
But I'll tell you though, if you can find someone who's getting out of casting, so look on all someone said earlier, the flea markets, and so if you're on Facebook, like the marketplace, and you're gonna probably see some stuff high priced up there. But I would still hit them with, I'll make them an offer, but I won't offer them what they're asking for it, because it's used. Before I buy something used for a high price, I'm gonna buy me a brand new one.
Look at what Georgia Boy just posted.
Georgia Boy, RCVS Pro Melt. Yeah,
Whoa.
I seen that on I think I just seen that on Amazon too. Something was $370. There you go. Uncle Jim said, stop by and he'll send you his 420.
I'm playing with shotgun right now because I got plenty of shotgun. I got more shotgun primers than I think I'm ever going to be able to shoot.
Yep, Paul, they're buying stuff crazy on and Uncle Jim can attest. I've bought a few modes off eBay, steel modes for like $20 before all of this happened.
Yeah, you got some good deals, and so did Jim.
$26. Those were, and they steel modes are like probably triple the price of an aluminum mode right now.
All right, so what Uncle Jim's saying is road trip to Utah.
Ray Taco's house.
That's a great idea, except for he's got way too many guns.
Yeah, he's kind of armed and stuff.
Yeah.
Taco's a great guy, man, who's awesome in casting. He's helped me out when I had some issues with hollow points.
Yeah, he's got a heart of gold, man. He is a honest to God, a human being that I'm happy that I talked to. You know, I'm happy that I had his
or comment on one of his videos. He'll get back with you and help you out, definitely, if you have some issues.
Or he'll just cut up with you. He got a great sense of humor too.
Echo, how you doing, brother?
Just leave an IOU note. Oh Lord!
All right, in that same giveaway that Georgia Boy won that pot, I won a K98 Mauser. So good night, Lee.
Good night, Lee.
Sleep well, my brother.
Night, old soldier.
And Mike Treen won
The
that sub 2000.
Yep.
I know if push comes to shove, even if my pot, I had some issues with my pot at one time, but I think it just worked itself out. Maybe something electrical, but and I think I did a video on it. Matter of fact, I did do a video. I did a live stream on it, and Taco jumped on the live stream with me. And the name of it was 420 Problems. And but push come to shove, I do have a ladle, and I can ladle pour. I don't enjoy it at all, just because of the volume aspect of it, but I can do it. And I bought it after I bought my 420 pot, just because I wanted to learn how to do it. I didn't have any power. or if my pot goes down or something like that. So because I can ladle pour with my turkey fryer and a cast, my Dutch oven.
Yeah.
Is that
I got to get me
Willie?
a new ladle. I got to get me one of those Lyman ladles because that Lee one is just not worth it.
Yeah, I have that lineman one. I think that's what Jamie was talking about. Insight, hey brother.
Hey, Scott.
I know that's right. Primers be abundant. I know that's right.
There's
G23.
G23.
Hey, let me haul out the let me load up my phone. I can't do it right here because my son's on the tablet upstairs. Let me haul out the side chat. Let's see. I'm gonna start from the top and work my way down so that way if somebody comments, I can get y'all. So my last, it only went back 10 minutes or probably 15 minutes. So the very first one says GGW reloading, Thor's X, James Pollard, Broke Loader, Jerry 1911, Reloader 762, Lakeview Outdoors, Fuzz T Fork 8, Appalachian Reloader, Echo and the Bunny Man, K24, TinMan, Rebels out there, AR Guns 1776, Georgia Boy 44, Paul Loud, AOK Foraging and Adventures, Uncle Jim. Normally when Uncle Jim's here, Uncle John's here too. So say Broke Loader. It says it's 49 of y'all. So Thoughts of an Old Soldier just stepped out. Willie Bullet Man, Insight Freedom, G23, Big E, Andy 79Z28. I'm sure Chris 338's out there. Who else did I see in the very beginning? Let's see if this will show me top chat. Floyd Hicks, there we go. That's all I'm showing, but YouTube be playing with the name. So everybody, thanks for joining us. If I didn't shout you out, just make a comment down there, and then I will. So Jamie, step off.
270 grain, 35 caliber.
Where is that?
Willie. Good Lord.
Daniel God is my judge. Jerry 1911. Somebody said, oh, is that Willie? 2 cavities or 270 grain, 35 caliber, and a 2 cavity or 250, 309 slick side. Wow.
That's got to be for his 350 Legend. I mean, that is a huge bullet.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. This is what I do for real, but I'm thinking I'll do it now too. Like on eBay with all these crazy prices. If you ever find, how you can filter by buying format, you can do buy it now, auction, or make offer. I would go to make offer and find something in there that I possibly would need, and I would offer them a regular damn price for, excuse my language, but you know what I mean? Because some people probably have a lot of modes that they bought back in the day, and they really ain't even interested in them, but they see the influx of, the need for it, or, the supply and demand part of it. But all they can do is tell you no. And I went back and forth on the offer thing before. Like somebody was selling something that was like way too high, and I offered them, like, I lowballed them because they countered offer. You know what I mean? So we kind of worked our way up to a reasonable price. So that's an option. G23, what you might have to do is unclick the notifications and then re-click it. That's possible.
I won't get notifications on a lot of y'all's videos, but when I go to the home screen, the video will be there.
So change the notification setting that you have. Like you may have it for all. Select it for, like, what can you do? You can hit all, personalize, or none. Hit it on personalize, and go watch, like just go start a video of somebody's and then go back and then change it back to whatever notification you want to set. You want to set for
It's
none or all.
yeah, it's all part of their little games.
As you remember, what a lot of people used to do, and even I used to do it too, when I stopped getting notifications for someone I know I was subscribed to, I would go to their page, unsubscribe, and resubscribe. But
And make sure you go watch a video and leave a comment.
Yeah, that the comment helps. Or
you know, it's. I think it was last year they changed it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it for a certain, at least like it may be half of the time that it's playing. It's some weird stuff. It's
yeah, you gotta get so far into it and everything else, but you gotta leave a comment too. They changed it about a year or so ago now, where you had to have a comment on there, or you'd be automatically unsubscribed again at some point.
Yeah, now they call that locking it in or whatever.
Willie Man just is doing it big out there in the Cali. He said an old man selling everything.
Okay, let me do this. I hate to show this thing. I had to find it. George Boy's right. The Lyman ladle is great.
Yeah.
See, I don't really know what this function is for up here.
You want me to tell you, Jamie? I'll tell you.
Tell me.
You can move the handle.
Oh, you can change it from one side to the other?
Yeah, if you're left-handed or right-handed, whichever one you prefer.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Okay, and then you got the feet, and this is the spout. But you fill this thing up with hot lead, and then put your mold right there and turn that up like that.
But don't put your finger right there.
No.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, anybody that casts, or if you're thinking about getting into casting, this is the Lyman ladle. Now, I bought a kit that come with this pot right here. This is
I'm scared to look and see how much those cost now. They was $20.
Lyman Big Dipper.
Big Dipper.
And it's just a little small 10-pound pot. It came with this ladle, this pot, and the Lyman 4th edition cast bullet handbook. And
that's not a bad kit. Actually, it's actually got stuff you'll use.
It was like $35, but that's how I started casting. I can get the thing out from under all my notebooks where I've been recording load data.
So that ladle still is kind of reasonable. I think when I bought it, it was like $18. It's $26 now. That's not bad for a Lyman ladle.
Well,
yeah, I bought mine at the store, and I think mine at the store was about 18, but I don't know what they're charging at the store now.
Right.
I would recommend that to anybody that casts.
The Lee one's not even big enough to put pepper on a pancake. I mean, it's just useless. Not that you would put pepper on a pancake. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't hold much.
Thrift stores and like antique shops are great for ladles too. Like for real ladles.
Oh, nice. You got another one? I'll buy it from you.
No, I got a different one, a different style. This one right here is just for, I'm gonna be using it for ingot modes.
Right.
Out on it.
You remember how me and you used to do it?
Oh,
Use a pair of ice ribs and a dang corn can.
Yeah, we improvised that night or that
morning. That's what inspired Chico to go find that bad boy right there.
Exactly. And if I saw one, I'd buy it too.
Yeah, a guy sold me it was 4 ladles. It was on like either Facebook or maybe Craigslist or something like that. And they were using them as decor on the wall. And he was like, my wife was like, he wasn't, because I said, are you a bullet caster or anything? He was like, no. I was like, oh, okay. How much you want for? It was like $15. And he had 4 of them. a copper one, this one, and one that's kind of like a scooper one. It's a little bit smaller, but they're I got two of the cast iron ones, but this is the biggest one. I'll be using that for.
I've got one that's just, well, it's probably about 2, maybe 3 times this size, and it's got pour spouts on both sides. Well, lips. This is a spout, and I mean this thing really forces the lead down in the mold cavities. So, Pollard, I wasn't taking a potty break. I was actually finding casting stuff. Which reminds me, I probably need a potty break soon.
You know what? I was gonna make a point earlier when we were talking about throwing the sprues back in, and the frosted bullets. It was kind of like a combination of it. So keep in mind too, when you're in like a bottom pour pot, probably any pot for that matter, as your melt goes lower, your temperature is gonna change if you're not using a PID. I don't use a PID at all. I've seen my lead glow, and I'm like, oh shit, let me turn that down because the lead was. I started with 20 pounds, and then it got down this far. I was like, why is it so yellow? It was like it was fire red. I was like, oh, let me turn that down.
Like you were saying earlier, don't drop your sprues in that in too quickly. Let it settle so far. Once you let it settle so far, you actually do put them back in. Give it 5-10 minutes to heat back up. Let it get back to temperature. It's got to get back to temp. That's a perfect opportunity for you to take a break and sit your mold back on top of the pot and reheat that mold up as well.
Yep.
Take opportunities when you got it.
So, Broke Loader's got that question out there. When is it necessary to add metal to your alloy?
And he's just saying to add more lead, basically. All right.
Yeah.
I try not to let my pot go below a quarter of a pot.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna cast a lot, I mean, it depends on what you're casting. So if I'm casting 9mm, for example, I can get probably, I'm gonna say easily probably 400 or 500 out of a pot, somewhere in there. If I'm casting 44 Magnum, I'm only gonna get maybe 200 out of the pot. So you just got to pay attention to your pot and figure out how many bullets you really want to cast up. And when it gets kind of that halfway point, decide whether you want to start casting more or what you want to do. If you don't really want to cast too many more, then don't worry about it. But if you do, then at that point, kind of really pay attention to it and start adding more in if you want. And bring it back up to the temp.
And it also depends on what your ingots are. Like I have these muffin tin, large muffin tin ones. They're about 2, maybe 2.5 pounds a piece. And then I've got these big sticks that I made. And if you're adding a large ingot, if your pot's fuller, it won't drop your temperature as much. If you wait until you got a quarter of a pot and you put one of those big sticks in there, you're going to have 15-20 minutes to kill before it becomes liquid again, because it's instantly going to freeze the pot.
And
So it all depends on what you got.
So
The ladle is for skimming the draws. I'll agree with that, Fuzz.
I'll tell you my experience with trying to make ingots in a muffin tin, Kyle. I went to the store and bought the regular 6-hole muffin tin, up in the lead up, poured it in there, set it to the side, got another one, poured it up, went to flip the first one out, and the cups came out with the lead.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've had some tins like, well, yeah, I've had some tins like that. It's almost like an insert. That's how it's made. It's not one piece. Yeah. And so now I start looking anytime I go to buy them, I don't buy them. You know what? The 10s I like the best. They suck, but they're still the best ones for me. I like the aluminum.
And see, the thing with the tens is they're so cheap that when they wear out or you have any issues with them, buy another one.
Yeah, you can pick them up at Goodwill or thrift stores or something like that for usually about 50 cents a pop.
I like the aluminum ones. The only thing I don't like about them, when you put lead in them, they are bend. So you kind of got to be strategic when you turn them over, because if you grab from one end, they will bend. But those put out the best ingots for me. That and cast iron.
Cast iron's the way to go.
I think didn't I give you? I think I got some crazy cast iron at the thrift store one time. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for like a. I think I gave Jamie one. I know I gave somebody one. It was a muffin tin. Like
yeah, you gave me a cast iron one, and I think it's a corn
muffin.
Yeah, the corn cob ones you can find laying around every now and then. I know my mom's got one, and every time I go visit her, I kind of wait to see if she's looking out the window at a bear or a turkey or something. I'm going to get it and shove it under my jacket. She uses it for cornbread, though, so she likes them little corn sticks.
Yeah, Jerry, me, Kyle, and Jamie all have those. We end up getting some, buying them, and so our shipping will be cheaper. And we just split it that way instead of ordering them single. Those triangle molds.
Hang on, got one right here.
They're good to stack. Yeah, I like it. Stacks the lead very good.
It does.
Oh yeah,
they work great. But oddly enough, the muffins are heavier than the sticks. I don't have a scale that I'd trust weighing them on because I don't want to overweigh one of my precision scales because they're not made to handle that type of weight. But
I did it.
Heavier than this one.
I think those 2x2s, when I did them, I think with just wheel weights, I think they were 2 pounds. They were about 2 pounds or a little bit more.
Yeah, these muffins are about 2.5. I weighed them at work on the UPS scale. And it feels a little bit heavier than the sticks, which I find that really hard to believe. But
hey, look, as weird as it is, let me tell you what, since I've started casting and making ingots, especially using cast iron, even when I go to the thrift store and I see that stuff, I don't trust it. Because I'm like, I would never cook in something I bought because I was like, it's somebody out there that probably melted some lead in these things.
Right.
Even though I wouldn't take it to the thrift store, if I was done totally with mine before I, if I didn't have nobody to give it away, I'd shoot it. I'd put a hole in it. Because it can be very over time. It's poisonous. So don't cook in them after you put lead in them. Nothing.
There are ways.
I shouldn't have to say that, but that's a disclaimer. You know what I mean?
But there are ways to bring it back, but it's a lot more work. I'd just rather go to the store and buy a brand new skillet. You build you a big enough fire and throw it in there for long enough, and anything that was in there will be out of it, and then you end up with a totally clean, totally empty. There's you can count every pore because everything's gone. You get the thing red hot and lead ain't going to be in there anymore. And then wash it about 300 times, bead blast it, wash it again, and then start the reseasoning process. And after about 3.5 months of it sitting in the oven, it'll be fine.
And you know what?
I ain't going to do that. I'm going to go buy a new skillet.
And I'll let somebody else go after this. If you plan on casting, look, this is what's going to happen. And this holds true for if you ride a motorcycle. Look, if you plan on casting, guess what? You gonna get burned. That's just how it is. Just like with a motorcycle, you ride comedian one time. He said, if you ride, you gonna fall. If you ride a motorcycle, you eventually gonna fall. Whether you just learning or something, you eventually gonna have a issue. It might not be super bad, but if you cast, you gonna get burned a little bit. That just happens. It might be on your arm. It might not be even be your fault, but you will get burned. And so
It's gonna happen. It's just like, so
right.
Chico turned wrenches. Back in the day, I used to turn wrenches too. And when you're turning wrenches, one of the things we all say is you're gonna bust your knuckles. It's gonna happen. You're gonna bust your knuckles. I can't tell you how many times I busted my knuckles.
Jamie, they call it something. What do they call it when you get burned? I've heard them say it. I forget. They call it something.
The tinsel fairy.
There we go. Yeah, that you'll get a visit.
You'll know it. It'll happen. You'll know it. I think we've all done it many times over. And you can have the biggest gloves on. You can have everything else on as much as you want. You're gonna get burnt somewhere. It don't matter. It's gonna happen.
It'll happen. But
So you can wear some good boots, some heavy jeans, a good thick shirt, and some welding gloves and eye protection. Always eye protection.
Yeah, no flip flops.
You'll be in pretty good shape, but you'll still have an opportunity to be burnt. Don't worry, it's still there.
I know, Georgia boy, and that's what happens. You know, I don't like wearing gloves, and I want them. Generally, when I'm casting, I'll wear one glove, and it's kind of like when you're cooking. One hand handles the meat, and the other hand stays clean. You know, you gotta have,
Exactly. I did the exact same thing. One hand with the glove, the other one doesn't have the glove, and that way I got a little bit more control of what's going on.
And when I said it may not be your fault, so everybody who has a leaf pot knows this. That leaf pot drips a little bit, and whatever it's on, it'll hit the base and it'll splat. I was like, what the hell is that? I'm not even by the pot. What is that? And it jumped up and hit me on the arm. I was like, so you're gonna get burned eventually.
And especially, probably one of the biggest things is when you're putting your sprues back in or you're adding more lead. Just take your time, real careful when you drop it in there, because that's where probably the biggest potential to get burnt is right there.
Yep, all good points out there.
one little splash, Vanessa. But let's face the facts. I ride a motorcycle. I've laid it down. I've casted bullets. I've got burned.
Yeah.
Just not real bad, praise God.
Right.
And then I fix my own cars as much as I can, and I've dang near ripped fingers off.
Yeah, that's what's happening. So, I mean, that's all part of learning something, I think. Jerry said if you lap the nozzle in the rod, you won't have the drip. I think that's what Uncle Jim did in one of his videos, right? Is Uncle Jim still out there? Uncle Jim, is your lead no longer drip? I remember when you did that. That was a lot of work. I'm just gonna send mine to Utah, and you just send me back like your modes. No, I'm just playing. I may try to do that one day. But I think it's what it is. It's that trash that gets up under that nozzle. So even if you lap it, you still run the risk of it. Depending on if you run your pot low too, of that trash getting back up under there. Oh yeah, Andy knows zinc.
That's gotta burn.
That's a different kind of burn there, buddy. Whew.
Yeah, that's like the difference between frying donuts and bacon grease. Bacon grease don't come off, man.
And one of the big things too with a leaf pot, and this is another potential spot where you can get burnt, is when that nozzle clogs up, and you got to try and unclog the nozzle. I don't know what you guys use. I usually just use like a pin or a screwdriver or something like that and unclog it. But you got to be real careful when you're working underneath that nozzle, because as soon as you get it clear, it's going to drop right through. You're going to get some droppage.
I used to use a paper clip, but Andy sent me this little device, this tool that he made. And I think Willie was talking about it one day last week. I was over here by my pot. That's what I use to clean it out. It's awesome.
Y'all won't do, boys.
There you go.
It looked like it was just an Allen wrench, and he sharpened the point and put a handle on it. And he sent me some zinc bullets. He sent this along with it, so I appreciate it, Andy. You can see the little lead on it.
Yeah.
It works good. So it definitely works out. But I used to use a paper clip holding it with like some needle nose, because I wouldn't be crazy enough holding it with my hand, you know. But that does suck when the nozzle clogs up. But also I keep a torch to heat it up.
That's an ingenious tool. I'm gonna have to make me one of those. And
Sorry,
Uncle
Jared.
Jim,
You gotta get your own, brother.
Uncle Jim, it don't matter how well you can spell, brother. Autocorrect and autocomplete have a mind all their own. And G23, how do you know what a shank looks like, man?
Or sheath.
Just asking.
I'm gonna look into that, Reloader.
That seems interesting. I might have to do that.
Yeah, mine doesn't drip all the time. It's just every now and then.
Oh, mine's dripped from the day it come out of the box till last night when I was using it.
As a matter of fact, I got an idea. I'm gonna send them an email.
There you go. Mike Castor, there you go.
I need the new style nozzle. Oh yeah, see, he just Reloaded 762 said that. He said they free, you just pay for shipping. I can do that.
I'll have to check into that too. Yeah, and that's another good thing. We've talked about this many times over. All these companies are real good about upgrades and stuff like that, and replacement parts and everything else. So never be scared to call them up and talk to them.
Okay. That question responds to another question. I'm assuming if it's a large pot of lead that you're smelting and making ingots. For that, I would use sawdust. But for my casting pot, I've quit using sawdust because I get that nozzle gets clogged up. So I use wax in there. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, and you know what? So any carbon can be your flux, and that's paper, wood, cork. So anything, do not buy any flux off eBay. They are selling sawdust they used to sell it for $20 for a little container of sawdust. I don't know. Somebody was making good money. Home Depot and Lowe's and all your home improvement stores, or if you got a saw, so you can use the sawdust, carbon, paper. I've seen Elvis Ammo use paper, newspaper.
Me too.
So
coffee
any
filters.
Carbon, right? Any carbon, and that's kind of anything that a pine straw.
It's basically anything that's going to draw the crap out of it is what you're looking for.
Yeah,
it's going to bring that to the surface. I mainly use sawdust as well, just because it's easy. Go out and cut a piece of wood real quick, and bam, you got some sawdust. It's cheap, it's easy, and it works. I've
wax,
candle wax. I've used candle wax before with Squatch. Me and Squatch were doing some casting before. We used candle wax that works too.
Hey,
These
G23, I didn't mean anything, buddy. I was just kidding around. But my hat's off to you, brother.
Yeah, good for you. That's good.
Much respect, much love, brother.
yeah, that is awesome.
Just
Changing our
don't,
lives.
whatever you do, Jamie, just don't turn your back on them.
No, man, what I'm telling you, changing our lives is a hard thing.
It is. If you guys don't know G23, he is a good dude. So we'll give him a little bit of crap, but he is a good dude.
Well, we give everybody a little bit of crap.
And I may be completely wrong, but somewhere it seems like I've read that Marvelux and borax are either the same thing or very similar. I don't know if y'all tried to verify that.
Is it a flux?
Marvelux is what we use on our large fluxing for our stuff at work,
Mm-hmm.
fluxing the soldering joints.
Mm-hmm.
And
But it's a liquid, ain't it?
no, it's a powder. It's a white granule powder. It looks just like borax to me. It kind of smells like it, but I think it's got something else in it besides borax.
Yeah. Georgia boys in the
I
comments
remember
said,
reading. I remember reading something about that, and it was essentially borax with an additive, but the additive is what does it.
yeah, because
Okay.
that's what Georgia boy said. Borax is used as a flux. So
Okay.
I just use sawdust because then again, I've got a girlfriend with an unlimited supply of sawdust, so I'm never in short supply.
and you know what?
Marvelux
Before
can
we get off here,
I'm
and we
sorry.
still got time though. But there's a great resource. It's a you can download it. I wouldn't print it because it's a whole bunch of pages. There's a book, a free book. It's like a PDF. It's from Ingot to Target. It's a casting book. You can Google it. It'll pop up with a PDF. I think I've got it saved on a jump drive somewhere. Let me see if I can find it and put it in the side chat. Oh, I'll show y'all a picture of it.
But
From
yeah,
Ingot.
I do use candle wax in my pot. I've been known to use sawdust, but I come across a bunch of old candles at the Goodwill and just snap a piece off or cut a piece off or whatever and throw it in there, and it works great. Just be prepared because it may catch fire.
James Pollard, I guess you could, but borax is also a good roach killer. So I don't know about that.
Blow him up, Jamie.
I ain't gonna put the link in because everybody will click on it and get off the live stream.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yep, free PDF. It's a lot of pages. Like I said, I wouldn't print it. I think it was like 100 something. When this live stream's over, I probably can do it now. I'll put it in the description box. Yeah, it's a good resource to have. They talk about fluxing, they talk about casting, they talk about a lot of stuff with casting.
Chico and his techno skills.
There's that. There's the Lyman book. I mean, that was one of the first things I was going to say to recommend whenever you decide you want to start casting. Get that book and do your research, do your reading.
I thought the purpose of fluxing, Big E, was to mix all of those things back together.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's supposed to remove any impurities and get the tin and the antimony back to where it's able to blend back in with the lead itself. Which, I mean, in the course of a good casting session, you're going to have to flux a couple of times because everything settles back out again. Just like how your bullets frost over. You know, that's everything separating because it's so hot.
Hey, Jamie, you want to pull up G23's other comment? I think that's a good comment to share.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
I do agree. There's a lot of laws that need to be reformed.
There's a lot of laws that need to be dropped.
Well, that would be reformed.
I'm a retired police officer, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of them that need to be dropped.
I'll tell you this: if you haven't done this, do this. Not right now, but once you get done, once you're done with the live stream, Google some old laws in your state, some of the most randomest laws in your state, and you will find things that you'll never believe.
Yeah, and they're still on the books.
Laws on the books.
It's illegal to wash your horse on Thursday in the city limits in Georgia.
I got one for you.
What?
In Georgia, it is still legal to beat your wife with a dowel rod as big as your pinky or her thumb if she allows it.
I was going to say, I remember the thumb
I
one.
was tempted today. My wife.
I was gonna say I sure do wish I'd have known that.
For a
limit
long,
on how long you can beat them.
for a long time.
It's crazy some of the laws that are still in the books.
For a long time in Georgia, it was legally impossible for a man to rape his wife.
Yep.
Right.
And it's. I think it's still a law in Georgia. You can't eat peanuts on Sunday on the courthouse square.
I was going to say there was something involving eating peanuts, but I couldn't remember it. Scotsman's got a great point. Just Google old stupid laws in whatever your state is. And
Good night, Mike.
see you, Mike.
No, I got a lot of friends that's been in trouble. And judging ain't my job, brother. There's somebody way above me going to do that.
Yeah, it's above my pay grade.
Way above mine.
I had a good friend of mine that was facing life in prison for murder because somebody came up to him and it was over a girlfriend or something like this, and this guy threw the first punch and Tony knocked him out. Bad part is on the other guy's way to hitting the ground, his head landed on a trailer hitch and it killed him. And he was facing life in prison until one of the other guys finally grew a pair and showed up to court and said, "No, I was there. That guy threw the first punch. Tony was defending himself." And that got him off. I mean, Tony nailed the guy, though. But sadly enough, on his way down to the ground, he hit his head on a trailer hitch and it killed him. But I mean, things happen, you know. Wow, talk about killing the mood. My bad.
Yeah, kinda. Anyway.
How about them Braves?
Nah, it just makes me think about my old philosophy was, you ask somebody to come forward and give information. You're not asking them to help the police. You're asking them to help the people around them. And too many times people don't do that.
And they say we're racist in the South. Not by a long shot, guys.
Oh, look at that one. Yeah, that's that's different.
Good night, AR. God bless you, brother.
Had to get ice cream. It's too cold for ice cream.
It ain't never too cold for ice cream.
I know you right.
I could, yeah.
I could probably go for an ice cream sandwich, though. Either one of them or one of them drumstick doodads. Those are good.
Ice cream sandwich. I could eat about a third of a half gallon of Mayfield chocolate about right now.
I could eat the top half of some Neapolitan.
My weakness is that Bluebell peach cobbler ice cream when they put it out on special in the summer.
Yeah.
Son.
All right, y'all got to stop talking about ice cream. We just lost 12 viewers.
They gone to the store.
They gone to the. They headed down to
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen. What's that place down there? We got a good one down out in West Rome. I can't remember. They're all over though around here. What's that ice cream joint, Chico? I can't never remember anything.
Roosters?
Roosters.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Zestos.
That's fact, Jerry. I live in Georgia, buddy.
Oh, Lord.
It hasn't been too cold this week for ice cream, but last week I'd say it's probably too cold for ice cream. It was in the negatives, pretty low.
It's supposed to be 78 degrees here tomorrow. I'm thinking about firing the pool up.
My co-worker is getting off work at 11 o'clock, and his truck's already loaded. He's headed over to Alabama, West Point, Lake West Point, and all that. He's going bass fishing tomorrow.
They are killing them.
He goes, I'm going to have some fun.
My dad went yesterday and caught 29 before 12 o'clock.
Goodness gracious.
Biggest one was 4 pounds. And I think he said 18 of them were keepers.
That's good eating right there.
We're talking bass or crappie?
Bass. They fishing a tournament tomorrow.
I don't know if he's involved in a tournament. I think he's just going over there to fish for a little bit.
And my dad just got over cancer treatments, and he still has COVID. He said, as long as I can walk, I'm going fishing. I said, okay, Dad.
Well, gotta love him for that.
Does he fish by himself?
Probably tomorrow. But he didn't yesterday. I think my brother went with him.
Well, we're dropping.
It's a good thing, man. You know, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. Always remember to get out there and do things. Don't be scared, man. Don't live your life in fear.
Yeah, that's what's keeping him going. He just he's about ready to retire, but he's got COVID. And I told him, I said, stay on your feet. Don't sit down and let that stuff build up. And he sounds 10 times better today than he did Monday.
Yeah.
Yep, keep moving, keep your body driving, man. Got to.
Yeah, Georgia boy's right. Got to wait till the dogwoods bloom, then you can wear them babies out.
Same for white bass or stripes.
Yep. White bass, stripes, and hybrids.
Boy, they pull, don't they?
Love catching them.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not great eating, but man, they sure are fun to catch.
They'll be running soon.
You got to cut that bloodline out of the stripes and the white bass. There's a red line. If you get that without nicking it and let it bleed in, you're good.
Like reds.
Yep. Down here around West Point, you can't go by the dogwoods. They're killing crappie right now on West Point too. The crappie, the stripes, and the white bass, they're all wearing it out.
It's warmer down there.
Yeah.
It wasn't 20 degrees last Monday down there.
Right.
buddy of mine lives just a little bit north of Houston. Called me up last Monday. He said, "Well, I'm off work." I'm like, "Everything all right?" He goes, "Well, we ain't got no power. It's 9 degrees and there's 10 inches of snow on the ground." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, he said, "I am not getting my Peterbilt out in this, hauling 80,000 pounds of heavy equipment." I said, "I don't blame you. Enjoy it." He said, "I got a fire going. We got a thing of soup on the dang wood burning stove, and my wife's still in bed, and I'm fixing to go back."
I still remember the blizzard of '93 down here. I bet Georgia boy does too.
Oh, I remember it.
March 13th, 1993.
I love that dude, Georgia boy. That's one of the funniest fisher guys on YouTube.
Him and Bill Dance.
Bill Dance still alive?
I believe he is.
He's
Yeah.
got to be 100.
He had some of the funniest blue. If it ain't but us on the panel left, y'all need to Google or get on YouTube and search Bill Dance fishing bloopers. You're gonna cry. You're gonna laugh so hard.
Yep.
That's some of the funniest stuff I ever seen.
Here's my man Chico back up. Y'all about ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we still got what? 14
About
minutes?
10 minutes. About 10 minutes.
Yeah, we said ice cream, and you was like, "What's the name of that place?" And I was like, "Zestos." I looked at my computer; it said 1%. Bye, and it is. I was like, "Dang." But Jamie, are you familiar with Zestos?
No.
I think they might only be in Atlanta, but they kind of phasing out. But were you talking about Baskin Robbins? I know y'all passed that Baskin Robbins, and I seen Roosters and Cold Stone or something.
Yeah, Cold Stone.
Yeah.
Cold Stone, Marble Slab, man, that's good stuff right there.
We got a place here in town called Coconuts. It's pretty good. We got a Brewster's too, but I ain't paying $8 for a dang ice cream cone.
Pamela, tell Idaho we missed him. We've been thinking about him.
Yep. Bill Dance is 80 years old. Wow. I bet he's still fishing.
I know, man. I love top water, but it's got to be warm for that.
Get you one of them hula frog poppers.
Buzz baits, stick lures. My favorite is a broken back Rapala.
Yeah.
Bag,
Or a rattle trap. Rattle trap is pretty good around here.
I think we're on the same wavelength, Kyle. Every time you talk, I talk. Every time I talk, you talk.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. I was saying a rattle trap works pretty good around here.
Oh yeah.
But that's what I call crankbait. That ain't top water.
Oh no, rattle trap, crankbait, or not top water. No.
Night, Andy. Zara's poops come in so many different sizes. You can get them big enough to where those big old hybrids jump on them.
You just want on the other side of that door, don't you? She's like, Mama's inside. I got to go be with Mama. Somebody got to protect Mama.
Oh, mercy, Uncle Jim. You ain't done much fishing, have you?
Oh, good. Well, they ain't too much fishing up there on top of that mountain.
I wouldn't think so.
Night, Echo.
So,
So
Jordan,
Echo, hit me up tomorrow if you would, and we'll try to sort something out.
hey,
so
you know what? I
Jordan
want
knows,
to
y'all.
say before we get off here. So the thing is with casting too, it's probably just like reloading. People can tell you everything about it, but you're not gonna get a grasp until you actually do it. You
And,
just
and,
gotta do
and see that's exactly the thing. So like I went down. Oh, it's been a while now. Heck, it's probably been 6 months or more. I went down to help out
it.
Squash
Spot.
Reloading, learn how to get into casting. And when I got there, I walked them through the process, explained it to them, and I told them, sit down and go. You're only going to learn by doing. You learn by trial by fire.
Yep.
You're not going to learn by me sitting there and doing it for you. So, get on there and do it. That's how I did it, and that's pretty much what you got to do. You got to learn by trial by fire. You're gonna screw up. It's gonna happen. It don't matter how long you've been doing it. You're gonna screw up at some point. That's just the nature of the game.
I
There's
got
no
I got the
big
crap
deal.
burned out of me the other day by being stupid. I was casting slugs, and got the mold really hot, and I'm just dropping slugs left and right. And I'm like, okay, now it's time to switch to something else. And I was trying to put Uncle Jim's Utah plate back on the pot with it, 800 degrees, and I'm trying to get everything lined up and get the little lock in there, and my hand hit the side of the pot, and you could hear it. Oh, wow! Don't do that, you know. So I'm sitting there. I'm almost there. Almost got the thing, and it was cold. My fingers slipped off that little lock thing, and danged if I didn't go right back to the same spot. Ah!
Dude, it happens. What
I've
was
got
it,
a
Jamie?
scar. I mean, it's healed up, but I've got a scar. I mean, it bit me good.
What was it, Jamie? About 3 months ago or so that I called you and I said I burnt myself with a ladle, something like that. 3-4 months back.
Yeah.
I'd been stirring the pot, getting the lead melted, stirring the pot, and all that, Cast in, stir the pot about every six casts or so, make sure it's keeping good consistency. And pot starts getting so low, like, all right, I'm gonna throw some more lead in there. Well, stupidly, I grab an ingot, put the ingot on there, and of course, I got the glove on this hand that's holding the ladle, and stupidly, not even thinking about it, to steady the ladle, and I put my hand on this end of it. What I do? Burn myself right away.
Oh goodness gracious!
Ugh.
It
Well,
happens.
yeah, you get too complacent in it, and you quit paying attention, and that's what it is.
It happens. You're gonna make mistakes. It's nature of the game, nature of the beast.
800-degree molten alloy will get your attention back pretty dang quick. I like to sit here and watch YouTube videos while I'm casting. Listen to music or something like that, and you kind of drift off into la la land. You get into the rhythm and all that. And you're making bullets and everything's all nice and happy. Then all of a sudden, ooh, hey, welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll wake you up quick, dude. It will. It'll wake you up quick.
So, I'm gonna say to Uncle Jim, not everybody can do that, man. A lot of people get seasick.
Yep.
I would love that, Big E. I would absolutely love that.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, we need to start going through the room, and we'll let Chico do his thing.
Sure. So everyone, thanks for joining us for another Friday night Georgia Shooting Connection. It's 32 of y'all. I think I seen 49 earlier. It might have been more, but I wasn't watching it too much. The numbers anyway. I was looking at the comments. That's more important than the numbers. So thanks for joining us and thanks for the questions. If y'all have questions, y'all can always reach out to any one of us. Uh don't I stress this a lot. Don't be afraid or think you're gonna be less than if you don't ask the questions. If you don't ask them, you won't know. I asked so many questions before I got into reloading. You can ask Pops Quest, you can ask WTF SoCal, other people. I was commenting. If you go in some of their old videos before I even bought a press, I was asking questions. And same thing with reloading. Casting. So yeah, ask those questions. It's plenty of resources on the interwebs, YouTube, forums, and stuff like that. Especially in the side chat. Just because you don't see that person on the panel, don't mean that they don't have valuable information. Reloader 762 and James Pollard and Fuzz. Fuzz can tell you about the scrolls, but that's another story. So, thanks for joining us. Fuzz don't always give him a hard time. We really
Fuzz
appreciate
was casting on the ark. What are you talking about?
Fuzz. Know we love him. Kyle, what you got going, brother? Coming up.
I think tomorrow's going to be a nice, cool morning, but it's going to warm up pretty good. So I'm thinking I'm going to cast up some more buckshot and some slugs in the morning and get them drying out while the sun's out and it's nice and warm. And I'm going to chew up the rest of these leaves that are in me and my neighbor's yard and make sweet Miss Shirley happy and get everything cleaned up a little bit. I think it'll dry out by then. Oh, hey, there's Walter.
What's up, brother? We're just going through the room to say goodnight.
He has a habit of that. But yeah, that's what I got coming up. Nothing exciting. Sent a package out to Willie. I thought he'd get it today. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did. I don't know. Hadn't heard. But I think he'll enjoy it. Now I got a dog barking on the back porch, and I'm just ready for this week to be over. I'm ready to put it to bed, you know.
Real quick before anybody goes, G23, brother, anytime, yeah, ask those questions, man. I was trying to see what Echo said, something about casting live, but I'm gonna read the comments. I'm sorry, go ahead, whoever next.
I'll go. I'm on call this weekend. Can't do much this weekend, but just trying to get things worked up so I can go back to the range and do a little more load testing on the 6.5. And I'm kind of revamping my old 6mm Remington. But that's about all I got going on.
Not a whole lot for me. I hopefully get a couple reviews done this coming week. Some things I got to follow up on that I've had for a while and just need to do a follow-up review and things like that. Planned on doing it a long time ago, but all kinds of stuff going on. But we'll get there. Hopefully this week we'll knock those out. As far as questions and comments, stuff like that, guys, make sure you're asking them. You know, just like Chico said, ask them. If you guys want to see something, you know, in particular, just ask us. You know, if you want to, you know, I know Chico just mentioned something about maybe live or something like that. Maybe we could do like a live casting session. You know, a bunch of us can get together and sit down and do a stream where we're all casting, and you can see the various things that we each do. I think that'd be kind of cool to do. You know, it may take a little bit of work to try and figure that out exactly, but it'd be kind of cool to have something like that. But yeah, ask those questions. Always ask those questions. You know, we always encourage you to do so. And if for whatever reason you may be embarrassed to ask a question here, you can email any one of us. You know, every one of us has emails out there on our pages. You can always reach out on Instagram or whatever. You know, I'm happy to talk to people, happy to answer questions, happy to help out however I can. So, and any one of us are. So, you know, that's what we're here for. We're a community and we stick together.
I mean, we've all got questions. I've got a question. Who has any good shotgun reloading data for green dot? You know, whether it be buckshot, like number 8 shot, slugs. You know, it's kind of hard to find. I mean, we've all got questions. I know that I feel comfortable with trying a load, but I'd rather know, you know. So, I mean, we've all got questions.
Yeah, and you know, like Waller says, there's no such thing as a stupid question. You know,
Right.
you may think it's stupid, but it's not. There is no such thing as a stupid question. There might be a stupid answer or a stupid response, but there's no such thing as a stupid question.
Yeah, the biggest stupid response would be, "That's a stupid question. I can't believe you asked that."
Hey, and you know what? Some people always now because I do it sometimes. I'll mess with fuzz, but the only reason I do it because I like fuzz. So if somebody's messing with you, they probably like you. That's what.
Oh, Fuzz knows.
I always tell people, and I think people get it here too. I always tell people, if I ain't messing with you, then you know I don't like you.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's
Yeah,
right. And one of the reasons we do this is because we learn as much from you guys as y'all do from us.
probably more.
It's amazing how much information is out there from all of you just in the side chat alone. You know, and then everyone here, you know, Jamie and Chico and Kyle and Russ, the amount of times we all reach out to each other and ask each other questions, you know, off camera is daily. You know, because we all support each other. Same thing with you guys out there. We support you, and that's what we're here for.
So, what you got coming up, man? You gonna be working on anything in particular?
Me? I already went through that. It's all you now. I already went through that.
Okay, good deal. Just making sure.
Yeah,
Okay, guys. Thank y'all for joining us. We had 56 or 57 in here at one point tonight, so we thank each and every one of you. Yes, questions. Send them to georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com. We ain't been getting no emails because I keep it on my computer all the time. I check it daily. So if you got any questions, don't hesitate to throw it out there. We may do at least a segment on it. So we got Walter out there, Floyd Hicks, 67 Rebel SST AMC. One more thing before we go. Willie sent me this thing. Thanks, Willie. Love you, brother.
Oh, sweet.
Ain't that nice of Willie? So anyway, when I hold something up to show it, y'all can't hear me. So as I've been told, appreciate it. So we hope God blesses y'all all real good. We'll see you next Friday night, same time, same place. Get in touch with us at GeorgiaShootingConnection@gmail.com or Georgia Shooting Connection on Instagram. All right. I guess that's all. We'll see y'all next week.